Alright, man. I don't want to hear you moaning and groaning this morning. You know the routine. Let's get marching. Left, right, left, right, left. Mendez! No slacking. Don't fall behind, damn it. You know, when I signed up for the military, I really thought it'd be a hell of a lot more than just walking all the time. You feel what I'm saying, Jerry? Rodriguez! You shut the hell up back there. We got a long march ahead of us. So quit your yapping and keep moving. Alright, here's the deal. This is a secret mission of the utmost importance. We gotta get in that gas station and get some cigars before Commander George finds out. If we get caught, probably not making it out alive. Today's briefing, lads. Artillery and heavy weapons crew in place, sir. And the radar systems are operational as usual. Nothing out of the ordinary. Very well. We must not let our guard down, Captain. Continue your exercises. Right. You hear her, men? Get ready to march out. Now's our chance, damn it. Go, go, go. Don't forget, get the Dutch masters. See if they got whiskey in there, too. All right, cover me. I'm going in. I got him. But they didn't have a lighter. What? What the hell are we gonna do without a lighter? You idiot! Damn it! Alright, Captain. Good luck with your exercises today. You know what they say. You can never be too prepared for war. Wait a moment. What's that? There wasn't supposed to be any flight exercises today.
Sir, it's the Japanese! Incoming!
My God.
Take cover! Japanese bomber!
1947, but the Japanese looking to invade North America. An expeditionary force of Japanese troops are looking to knock out an early warning radar system, leading way for the main invasion force. But George Washington II and his small force of U.S. troops can only do so much to stop the oncoming tide of Japanese troops. Will they be able to hold out just in time for reinforcements? We'll find out this week in the invasion of America in Konflikt 47. Hey, how's it going? Mike from Mike Rolls Dice, and welcome for a very special battle report here on the channel. Our very own pre-invasion scenario to hype up the release of Invasion America. The Japanese looking to make landfall in North America, a recon force of Japanese forces have been deployed to take out an early warning radar station on the west coast of the United States. If they can manage to knock out this radar station, then they can make way for the main Japanese invasion force headed for the Americas. Here on the channel, we're so excited for Invasion America, and that's why I want to give a huge shout out to the sponsor of today's video that made it possible, and that is the Tabletop Strategist. Located in the greater Orlando area, the Tabletop Strategist has a great selection of K-47 and bolt-action miniatures and accessories, as well as plenty other war games. Head over to thetabletopstrategist.com and use code MikeRolls for free shipping on orders over $75 for bolt action and Konflikt 47. They not only have great pricing, but being located in the US makes shipping even easier. So it's a great way to support the channel here at no additional cost and to support a veteran-owned business. So thank you so much to the Tabletop Strategist for sponsoring today's video. Without them, we wouldn't have been able to go all out for this video. Alright, with that out of the way, let's get going with the army overviews, starting off with Rev's Japanese forces we'll be playing today. So this is Rev's list today, 1,500 points of Imperial Japanese forces, and this is the expeditionary force looking to knock out the radar system, leading way for the main invasion force. Starting off, we have a platoon commander. Even though she's wearing samurai armor and looks badass, even though she's just a regular platoon commander, her name is Tetsuko. She is equipped though with a point of guts and a Yorikumi anti-tank launcher. Next up we have two 10-man assault frame infantry squads. These are equipped with SMGs as well as the combat blades, giving them deadly 2 and +1 pen, as well as the anti-tank grenade upgrades so they could charge into vehicles.
Banzai! Shine! Americans!
Next up we have a Japanese sniper team, and this has the Shiburu rifle, which has the special rift ability. Get ready, brother. Then we have 2 green inexperienced Imperial Japanese rifle squads. They are equipped with anti-tank grenades to be able to charge into vehicles as well.
Banzai!
And moving over to the Walker platoon, we have a Chiha medium tank with a Type 61 Shiburu cannon and front and rear-facing hull-mounted MMGs.
Chiha medium tank here. Ready for your orders, Commander Tetsuko.
Next up, we have a 6-man Ghost Attack Squad, and they have their Rift teleporting ability, Spirit Dance, as well as being equipped with Type 10 Shiburu rifles. And the NCO has a Combat Blade upgrade.
Ghost Warriors here. Ready to serve the Emperor.
And last but not least, we have the Type 7 Sasori Light Walker. It's a damage value 8 Light Walker, and it has a Type 61 Light Shiburu cannon, as well as 2 forward-facing hull-mounted MMGs.
Today, brothers, we shall be victorious in battle.
Do not give them an inch, men, but we shall cut them down on their own land.
Alright, that's Rev's Japanese forces he's going to be playing today. Now moving over to the US forces I'll be using today to try and stop the Japanese. So for the US forces today, this is my 1500 point list. This is the garrison force at the Post 369 early warning radar station. They're going to be trying to stop the Japanese from taking out their precious military equipment. Starting off here, we have a assault platoon, and the assault platoon is led by a regular platoon commander. Not just any platoon commander, this is George Washington II.
To be prepared for war is one of the most effective means of preserving peace.
Now, whether he be a clone or the long-lost relative of George Washington, he's equipped with an upgraded ATRD and is getting the free pointed guts from the US Army rules. Next up, we have a 5-man US Heavy Infantry squad. These are damage value 6 veteran, and they are all equipped with LMGs. Then we have a 6-man Paragon squad here. There is 1 heavy Tesla rifle. They all have close combat blades, giving them deadly 2 and +1 pen, as well as having the ability to generate a point of guts.
We didn't even get to smoke the cigars.
Then we have 2 10-man regular US rifle squads here. They're all equipped with rifles and looking to stop the Japanese from taking out the precious radar dishes.
Boys, I thought we'd have to wait till we're deployed to see some action. You best get your gear ready.
Now moving on to the heavy weapons platoon here, we have an inexperienced platoon commander equipped with a pistol.
I hope you men paid attention in training. You're gonna need it.
And he'll be leading a medium mortar team. This is a regular medium mortar team, and they have a spotter attached to them. Then we have 2 medium machine gun teams. These are 3-man teams. They have the team weapon rule, and they have 6 shots with their medium machine guns.
Make sure them guns are oiled up and get your extra barrels ready.
Now moving over to the artillery platoon, we have another inexperienced platoon commander here, and he's going to be leading a medium artillery team. They're equipped with a spotter upgrade as well, and they're going to be positioned up on the hill, looking to stop the oncoming Japanese forces. The medium artillery is a howitzer, the range of 60 inches over barrel, or having the option to shoot indirect, and with HE3, if it's able to land its hit, it's going to be a deadly threat. Now moving over to the Walker platoon here, and we have 2 jump units, starting off with the command vehicle, which is a Mud Skipper. It's equipped with the heavy machine guns on its arms, as well as twin autocannons, and a hull-mounted medium machine gun.
Mud Skipper here. Ready for your orders, Commander George.
And then last but not least, we have a 12-man unit of Fireflies. These are all equipped with just their standard MX-1 and MX-2 Thompsons, and the Mud Skipper and Fireflies are coming to do some training here on the base, but it looks like they're going to be needed for much more than just training some troops for the upcoming campaign.
Be there in no time, Commander. Let's move out.
And that is my US forces that I'm going to be playing today, 1500 points, with George Washington looking to stop the Japanese.
Stand tall on this day, men, for we are fighting for the very integrity of what makes this country so great. Freedom.
Now on to the mission overview for today. You can see the board overview today, and essentially this military base is an important outpost for the United States. They use these satellite dishes, these 5 satellite dishes positioned throughout the base, to essentially detect any Japanese or any Soviet movements off the West Coast and in the Pacific. So you can see the 5 radar dishes here. We have 2 of them are up on the hill, 1 on the main command building, as well as 2 further out, closer towards the outpost and the gas station. So essentially today we're playing a custom mission of Demolition, where there's 5 satellite dishes that need to be destroyed. And at the end of a turn, if a Japanese infantry or artillery unit is within 3 inches of the satellite dish, and there are no US forces either in close combat or within 3 inches, and as long as the Japanese haven't deployed this turn according to the new updated demolition rules, then the satellite dish will be taken out. So the Japanese are looking to take out 3 of the 5 main radar dishes here to make the early warning system go down. Alright, with the mission overview today, let's move over to the deployment. For the deployment up on the hill, we're starting off with the heavy weapons and the artillery platoons. I have the medium machine gun team, then we have the artillery piece and the spotter for it up on the hill.
Get that damn gun ready! The Japanese are coming!
Artillery platoon commander up on that tower, and then the medium mortar team, medium machine gun team, and platoon commander for the heavy weapons team on the right side of the hill.
Alright men, we trained for this. You know your roles, you know your positions. Expect nothing but greatness from you.
And we have the spotter for the medium mortar team is up on the command center building. Now patrolling the close side, we have one of the 10-man rifle teams that was on their morning march.
Take positions! Don't forget your training and keep your heads down, damn it!
And down below is the platoon commander in charge of this base, George Washington II, as well as his power-wielding American heavy infantry with LMGs.
Commander Washington, what's your order? We must protect the radar dishes at all costs. Roger. You know what to do, men.
The spotter for the mortar team is positioned up on the roof. Then we have our 2 basic U.S. infantry squads, the rifle squads. They were marching up the road when the Japanese bombers hit. They're doing their daily patrol. And last but not least, the Paragons that were looking to get some cigars and a bottle of whiskey from the gas station that were caught out in the open in the bombing are deployed right by the gas station using their infiltrator.
Quick, pass the cigars around. Who's got a lighter, damn it? Sanchez! You got matches?
The Japanese will be advancing or running onto the board from this lawn table edge, essentially approaching from the coastline, and Rev will be able to use his outflanking and reserves later on in the game. Speaking of which, Rev has his Shiburu sniper team in reserves looking to outflank later on. And for the US forces, the Fireflies and the Mud Skipper will be in reserve as they're currently on their way to the base and are going to be speeding it up a little after getting some emergency calls. Alright, with all that out of the way, let's get started with our pre-invasion America battle report.
Here they come, damn it! Incoming! Japanese dive bombers!
Take cover! Spread out!
Keep your hands down, damn it!
Starting off, the preparatory bombardment going off. You can see a pretty devastating effect, pretty effective targeting going on by the Japanese bombers.
Hold the line! Remember, men, you trained for this. Serve your country proud. Sir, Japanese forces incoming!
With the Paragons taking 2 pins from the preparatory bombardment, but luckily not losing any troops. George Washington taking a piece of shrapnel, gets a pin himself, the platoon commander.
Sir, you're hit! Medic! It's okay, Captain. Tis but a flesh wound.
And the rifle squad on the road taking 2 pins and losing one of their troops as well.
Jerry, no! Keep your heads in the game, troops.
One of the medium machine gun teams taking 2 pins, the artillery team and the platoon commander for the artillery team taking a pin.
How the hell did Japanese bombers get through our systems?
The medium mortar team, as well as the platoon commander taking pins, and the medium machine gun team losing one of its troops. So with a very effective preparatory bombardment from the Japanese side, the Japanese are ready to make landfall in the US for the first time, getting ready for their start of the invasion of America. Alright, with the preparatory bombardment out of the way, let's get going with the start of turn 1. The start of turn 1 here, and the Paragons are looking to strip the pins that they got from their bombardment.
It's a hell of a time for a cigar.
Just successfully rallying with a 10, being that they're veteran. They're going to remove their pins, activate their gun-ho ability, and generate a point of guts, put in their dice back in the bag.
Alright, this ain't our first rodeo. You got your cigars, men. Now get ready for the fight.
Now an Imperial Japanese rifle squad is running onto the board, proudly waving their Imperial Japanese flag, letting the Americans know that they're not messing around.
Forward! We shall take this land from the Americans!
Shine! Ah!
So now a U.S. rifleman squad that's on the road here is going to be advancing. They see the threat on the field now and are looking to get closer towards that satellite dish to stop the Japanese from destroying it.
Japanese infantry, 12 o'clock. Forward! Ready those Garans!
And after advancing 6 inches, the riflemen are taking their M1 Garans and firing it into the Imperial Japanese squad. They're going to be looking for 5s to hit.
Light 'em up!
And looking for 3s into the inexperienced Japanese squad. But with hard cover from the brick wall, the Japanese only lose 1 troop and get a pin. So now the Chiha medium tank has advanced onto the board here. It's going to be activating its rift ability for its Shiburo cannon. It's going to be firing its Shiburo cannon at the Paragons by the gas station and its medium machine gun at the infantry by the satellite dish. In response, I choose to go down with the Paragons to at least give them some cover save, to try and save them. Needing 5s to hit here for the Shiburo cannon. But getting a couple hits and a successful damage roll, they take out one of the basic infantry and put on a pin. So now the 10-man assault squad infantry is running onto the board here, looking to make their way towards that first radar dish and destroy it.
Bodo! Down with the Americans! Ah!
And even more Japanese troops are pouring onto the US base now. Another 10-man squad of Imperial Japanese green inexperienced riflemen are running alongside their power armor brethren.
Shine!
Now with the entirety of the heavy weapons and artillery platoons having pins, I'm going to start rallying, choosing to rally with the medium machine gun team and rally with the platoon commander as well. Successfully passing the order test and removing the pins from both.
It's the Japanese, damn it! Get that machine gun cleaned up and get ready to send some letdown rage!
So now the Japanese platoon commander has made her way onto the board, donning her samurai sword and armor.
Is everything ready? Good. Then cut these fools down.
She's going to use her point of guts to put the assault frame infantry's dice back in the bag. And now the artillery team is looking to activate here. They do have a pin, but the platoon commander is close by.
Get that howitzer in action! Start firing!
They're going to load up the medium artillery piece, the howitzer, and fire it using the spotter fire indirect at the assault frame infantry squad. After successfully passing their order test and taking the pin away, they're looking to range them in, starting on a 6. Not hitting, but looking to get a 5 next time they fire at them. And looking to rally here with the artillery platoon commander, just trying to take some more pins off of the guys up on the hill. And successfully passing, being a platoon commander, and using the tough as nails free guts for the platoon commander, putting the artillery team's dice back in the bag. And now the Japanese platoon commander, after using her point of guts to put the assault frame's infantry dice back in the bag, they now are able to successfully charge into the Paragons, being that I forward deployed them by the gas station.
Oh!
Banzai!
They're on us already!
Shine!
Both units have deadly 2 and +1 pen, though both are looking for 5s on the damage roll. So each model's making 3 attacks each here, but the assault frame infantry have 30 attacks in total versus the 18 from the Paragon. And even though the Paragon managed to wipe out a few of the assault frame infantry, the Paragon squad is wiped out.
You fools. Do not forget the mission at hand, brothers.
So now with George Washington seeing his precious military base under attack, orders the U.S. heavy infantry here with their LMGs to advance 6 inches forward and fire their 5 LMGs at the assault frame infantry that have now taken position next to the radar dish.
Alright, boys. You know what to do. Let's get moving and get rid of these bastards. There they are! Fire!
They're going to be looking for 5s to hit into 6s, being that they have no pen. And with 2 lucky LMG shots finding their mark, 2 of the assault frame infantry are taken out on the point. George Washington, seeing his men gun down some of the Japanese, he's looking to advance forward and position himself strategically in between his men to give them a morale boost.
Hold the line! Don't give them an inch, men.
And after passing his order test, and after advancing, he's going to use his point of guts to put the U.S. heavy infantry team's dice back in the bag so they're able to go again this turn.
For freedom and democracy is at stake, gentlemen. We better make use of our time.
So now the U.S. Rifleman squad that is right by the assault frame infantry squad, they are just going to stand still and fire. Half of the units within 6 inches and half the units out, and after successfully passing their order test and taking a pin away, they're going to fire. With 1 lucky rifleman finding his mark, he takes out one of the assault frame infantry. So another assault frame infantry squad is running onto the board here, and they're going to be looking to back up their brothers on the point. And the 6-man ghost squad has now advanced onto the board here. They have their Shiburo rifles, and they're going to be firing at the U.S. infantrymen squad that's on the radar dish to the right.
Oh, the Emperor! There they are! Shine!
Using the Rift ability here, so every hit will generate an additional hit.
I'm looking for 5s to hit.
And managing 2 successful damage rolls, but the hard cover from the building saves the U.S. infantrymen.
Those fools. Prepare for teleportation.
So the medium mortar team is activating here and needs to pass this order test. They're going to be firing a mortar round at the Green Imperial Japanese squad carrying the flag.
Due east, 200 meters. Japanese infantry squad. Send one down range.
They have to pass an order test first. Unfortunately missing, but they're going to be ranging them in on a 5. And the medium machine gun team in the far left corner up on the hill is just rallying, looking to take its pins away and get ready for next turn. And with the skittering sound of the Sasori Walker now advancing onto the board here.
Sasori Walker here. Target acquired. Firing on your command, Tetsuko.
It's going to take its Shiburo cannon and its hull-mounted medium machine guns, firing its Shiburo cannon at the U.S. Heavy Infantry Power Armor Squad and its medium machine guns at the Rifleman Squad on the point. Looking for 5s to hit here. And with a successful damage roll from the medium machine gun, taking out one of the basic riflemen. Now, after pulling the dice back out of the bag, the artillery team now is going to be ranging in. Unfortunately, the assault frame infantry moved. You're going to have to start ranging in a new unit, and they choose to fire at the Imperial squad with the flag, looking for a 6. But now ranging them in on a 5 next time they fire. Pulling the dice back out of the bag for the U.S. Heavy Infantry, the power armor wearing servicemen are going to advance forward, take their 5 LMGs, and fire it at the assault frame infantry in point-blank range.
They're right there, damn it! Wipe them out!
Now looking for 3s to hit. and looking for 6s on the damage roll. And with 3 successful damage rolls, they just managed to wipe out the last remaining assault frame infantry.
Hold the line!
And with that, that is the end of turn 1 here. The Japanese have made landfall into the United States. Even though they've just made their way onto the US base here, the Japanese have quite a way to make it towards those radar dishes. They're going to have to surge forward and try and take out some of the US infantry. Rev getting some active rift dice here at the end of the turn. And with that, that is the end of turn 1 here, and we're moving on to the start of turn 2. Start of turn 2 here, and the US forces really need to try and slow down the Japanese and stop them from reaching those radar dishes. Pulling the dice out of the bag, the artillery team is going to fire here, and they're looking to range in that Imperial Japanese squad on a 5. Unfortunately missing, so that means they're going to be hitting on a 4 if the Japanese squad doesn't move. So now Rev seeing his opportunity, the US infantrymen have 3 pins. Sasori Walker has a movement of 24 with a run. Running over the US rifleman squad, they're going to have to take a morale test, and if they fail, they flee off the board.
Japanese Walker! Run! Run for your lives!
And being regular with 3 pins, they fail the morale check, and to avoid getting crushed under the arms and pincers of the Sasori Walker, the US infantrymen flee off the board.
Screw this! I'm out of here! I didn't sign up for this shit!
Commander Tetsuko, I have dealt with the threat on the far flank.
So now the medium mortar team is pulling their dice out of the bag here. They're looking to fire. They are continuing to range in that Imperial Japanese infantry squad.
Incoming!
So they're looking for a 5 to hit here. Unfortunately missing, so they're also going to be ranging in on a 4. So now the medium Chiha tank is activating here, getting a fire order and staying still. Activating its rift dice on its Shiburo cannon, it's going to fire at the US heavy infantry in the power armor.
US heavy infantry in my sight. Prepare the Shiburu. Ready to fire.
It's looking for 4s to hit here. Getting a successful hit leading to 2 hits due to the Japanese rule. Firing the machine guns as well. Making these saves on the basic infantry, but being out in the open, 2 of the US heavy infantry are taken out by the Shiburu cannon. Oh, one thing we forgot here is Rev forgot to do the green test. Fortunately not passing the green test, so they're not going to change up, but the inexperienced Japanese squad here is activating. They passed their order test and removed their pin, and being that a bunch of artillery rounds and mortar rounds have been landing by, they're going to run forward and take position on the radar dish, seeing if they can place a demolition charge at the end of the turn.
Forward! Prepare the charge!
And with the Japanese now moving forward, the medium machine gun team, which has been positioned on the hill to cover the access from the roads, is going to be trying to fire. Unfortunately, it looks like they are out of range, and the terrain is blocking the Japanese. So it's kind of a mix-up on my end, or the US High Command, for placing their medium machine gun teams in not the most optimal position. So now the Ghost Squad is activating here. They are going to take a run order. Really what Rev's looking to do is just activate the Spirit Dance ability. Using a Rift Die, and after passing the order test, he teleports the Ghost into the far back corner. Just being outside 12 inches, he's able to squeeze them in there. Now having the Ghost Infantry teleported right behind the heavy weapons team, it's going to be quite the threat.
Banzai!
After seeing the first medium machine gun team fire and be out of range, the second medium machine gun team on the left here is going to run, and they are going to move 12 inches down the hill, getting a better position to try and lay down some covering machine gun fire for the other US forces.
Come on, damn it! Those boys down there need our help!
and the other green, inexperienced Imperial Japanese squad here is just running forward and looking to make their way up the board, trying to get to one of the many radar dishes.
Forward to the radar dish. Prepare the explosives.
Now, the U.S. platoon commander here is activating, and after hearing the unforgettable sound of ghost warriors teleporting behind you from the rift,
My God. Ghost warriors!
he turns around and advances forward. He uses the point of guts to put the medium machine gun's dice back in the bag, telling them to turn around and lay down some fire.
Turn that damn machine gun around. They're on us, damn it.
And he's going to fire his pistol. Unfortunately missing. But now, after getting the medium machine gun's attention, they're going to pivot around and position the medium machine gun and take fire at the ghost attack squad that's right in front of them. They're getting 6 attacks here and looking for 5s, being that they moved. They're looking for 5s on the damage roll. And with the failed hard to kill roll, Rev losing one of the ghost squad and getting a pin. So now the US infantry squad here is getting a fire order, and they're going to stay still.
Japanese, 12 o'clock.
Staying still, they're looking to fire at the Japanese assault frame infantry. Unfortunately, most of the unit is out of range, and only 3 are going to get to fire. Hitting on 5s, meaning that they have a pin. And with a successful cover save, the assault frame infantry squad just gets a pin. Now, the same assault frame infantry squad that just took some receiving fire is now going to run forward and looking to get closer towards that radar dish, taking position behind some of the shacks.
Forward! Commander Tetsuko is counting on us. We must not let her down.
And now the US Heavy Infantry Squad, after seeing some movement now and having George Washington give them some motivational speech from behind, they're going to advance forward, needing to pass an order test first. They do, they take the pin away. They're going to get onto the point here, onto the objective, and they're going to fire their LMGs at the assault frame infantry squad that's right in front of them.
All right, let's put these LMGs to use. Send some lead down range. Light 'em up, boys.
And looking for 5s to hit. Fortunately, only getting 3 hits, not being able to get within point blank range, it only leads to another pin.
Do not give them an inch, men. Remember what is at stake.
So George Washington II here, he was choosing to run and potentially get around the corner of the building, but then remembering he has an ATRD, he's advancing forward. He whips out his ATRD and fires it at the Sasori Walker. Getting within 6 inches, he's looking for a 3. Unfortunately, the rocket-propelled grenade bounces off the armor of the Sasori. And now the Japanese platoon commander is advancing forward, and she's going to fire her ATRD at the US Heavy Infantry on the point. But unfortunately missing. And looking to advance on the board here, outflanking maneuver, the Japanese sniper team fails its order test, even with the benefit of the not receiving the -1 in their army roll. And with that, that is the end of turn 2 here, and the Japanese have surged forward and have managed to take position on one of the radar dishes. The Ghost Squad and the Chiha both getting active rift dice. With no US forces within range of this one radar dish, the Imperial Japanese Squad successfully set off their demolition charge, taking out one of the precious American radar dishes.
For the Emperor!
With the other radar dishes still in control by the Americans, but the Ghost Squad behind enemy lines, we'll see if the Japanese can close in the distance on turn 3. Alright, with that, that's the end of turn 2. We're moving on to the start of turn 3. Start of turn 3 here, and the Sasori Walker is up first. After getting a ATRD fired at it, it's going to advance forward here with its 12-inch movement using one pivot running over George Washington as well as the U.S. infantry squad. They're going to have to take morale checks to see if they flee off the board.
You wretched beast! You'll have to pry democracy from my cold, dead hands.
George Washington stands firm, but the U.S. Rifleman squad flees off the board, being that they have some pins. Now the Japanese walker is going to be using its Shiburo cannon and its medium machine guns. And after forcing the U.S. infantry squad off the board and making a pivot, it's going to fire its Shiburo cannon at the medium machine gun team and its medium machine guns at the artillery team. Well, looking for 5s with the Shiburo cannon. It successfully hits, turning 2 hits into 1 and 1 successful damage roll. And looking for 5s on the machine gun, the Japanese walker manages to take out one of the members from the medium machine gun team and put a pin on the artillery team. So now the assault frame infantry squad is going to be activating. They are going to pass their order test, being that the platoon commander is right nearby. And using a run order, they're going to charge into the U.S. heavy infantry squad that's near the radar dish.
Banzai! Shine! Yeah!
As the attack frame infantry squad runs in, the heavy infantry squad on the U.S. side is going to fire their LMGs in response. Needing 4s to hit here and 6s to wound, they successfully managed to take out a few of the oncoming Japanese assault frame. But with the Japanese getting 3 attacks each and +1 pen, and the Americans only getting 1 attack each with no pen, they somehow managed to take out one of the Japanese assault frame, but the U.S. heavy infantry squad is wiped off the point. And then the assault frame squad just consolidates, still being close enough to place a demolition charge on the radar dish.
Radar dish secured, Commander Tetsuko. Preparing the demolition charges.
George Washington whips out another ATRD and goes to turn around and fire at the Sasori Walker.
I'll have to do this myself.
And it's at this point we remember that the Sasori Walker was actually supposed to make leg and arm attacks. George Washington turns around to fire the ATRD, but falls apart into 2 pieces as the Walker slice right through him. Now the U.S. artillery team is going to be firing. They're looking to fire at the assault frame infantry squad that's on the point. And after passing their order test, they're going to be firing here. They miss, but they start ranging in the assault frame infantry squad. Now the medium machine gun team is going to be firing at that same assault frame squad that's on the radar dish there. After passing their order test, they're going to be firing their 6 LMG shots, looking for 4s. And looking for 6s, they get 2 successful damage rolls. The hard cover from the wall does manage to save one of the assault frame infantry. So now with the Ghost Attack Squad still behind them, the medium machine gun team is going to sit still and fire.
They're right there! Light them up!
And they're looking for 4s here. Using Arsenal of Democracy, being able to reroll 1 hit. And looking for 5s on the damage roll, they managed 2 successful damage rolls, but with a passed hard to kill roll, they only lose one of the Ghost Squad. The Imperial Japanese squad on the blown up radar dish is now going on ambush, waiting for any Fireflies to potentially come on the board.
We got assault frame on the 2nd radar. Send another one downrange.
And the medium mortar team now firing at the assault frame infantry by the radar dish. Seems like maybe not the smartest thing to do, but luckily the mortar team has not hit a single thing this entire game. And the American platoon commander firing his pistol, staying still at the Ghost Attack Squad here. Looking for 4 to hit. but unfortunately missing. And the green, inexperienced Imperial Japanese Rifleman squad is now just running onto that same radar dish,
Forward off!
just in case the assault frame infantry have a hard time with their demolition charges. And the U.S. artillery platoon commander here is now running. Unfortunately, he has to run around the stairs, so he's going to run and start making his way towards the command post to try and protect that radar dish.
Somebody protect that radar dish.
With the sound of a U.S. medium walker slamming into the earth, the Mud Skipper jumps down and is going to be firing its medium machine guns at the Imperial Japanese squad in front of it, and its autocannons and HMGs at the assault frame infantry that's on the point. Looking for 2s to hit, being within 6 inches. With the autocannons managing to take out one of the assault frame and then moving on to the HMGs. With the +1 pen and 12 shots, managing to take out the rest of the assault frame infantry squad.
That's for Commander George Washington, you sons of bitches. I got plenty more where that came from.
Now the Chiha tank is firing here, expending a Rift Dice and firing at the Mud Skipper.
U.S. Walker in sight. Prepare the Shimuru. Fire!
Unfortunately, though, it has a hard time lining up its shot, and it misses. So now the Ghost Attack Squad here is going to advance, getting within point-blank range here of the medium machine gun team and looking to wipe them out. Unfortunately, moving them first, but I moved them, not Rev, so he's not cursed in his order test. And after passing his order test, he's going to use one of his Rift Die to activate the Crush ability on the Shiburu rifles.
Shine! Die, American! Die!
Looking for 3s to hit with the pin. After making some damage rolls, they take out all of the medium machine gun team. And now the Japanese sniper team looking to advance on the board, but unfortunately they are still lost, fail their order. And with the cries for help coming over the radio, the 12-man Firefly team jumps down right behind the Ghost Attack Squad and opens up on them with their MX-1 and MX-2 Thompsons. Using the 2 attack profile, +1 pen, looking for 2s into 4s. And with a ton of failed hard-to-kill rolls, the Ghost Attack Squad is wiped off the board.
Don't worry, Commander. We're here to help.
Well, it's about goddamn time.
Sorry we're a little late, but we hit a little turbulence on the way.
And with that, that is the end of turn 3 here. Things are moving pretty quick here. And with the US losing quite a few units, but taking quite a few of the Japanese units out in response, it's still anybody's game. But with the Japanese platoon commander and the green inexperienced squad being on the point and no friendly US forces near that radar dish, the second out of the 5 radar dishes are taken out, leaving only 1 more radar dish to be destroyed for the Japanese to be successful. So with that, that is the end of turn 3, and we are moving on to the start of turn 4. Start of turn 4 here, and the Mud Skipper Walker is up first. I was going to move within point blank range and fire at the Sasori. But one thing I realized is we've never had a Walker fight. So I'm going to give a run order, and after looking up the rules, we are going to have our first ever Walker fight here on the channel. Essentially the way it works is we're going to make rolls according to the amount of arm and legs we have. Whoever gets the highest roll will be the winner. And then there's various effects depending on the winner and loser.
Take this, you son of a bitch! Shine! Taste this Detroit steel!
Being that the Sasori has 4 legs and 2 arms, Rev getting 1 more attack here. Due to the difference in the damage value, and with both walkers striking at the same time, managing to get glancing damage rolls on each other, rolling on the superficial damage table, with Rev getting a 4, leading to engine damage on the Mud Skipper.
Engine malfunction. I might be out of the fight here, boys.
With me rolling a 3 for the Sasori, leading to a turret or arm jam on the Sasori walker. Let's go, first walker fight! So now the Japanese platoon commander in samurai armor is going to fire here. She's within point blank range, firing her anti-tank launcher at the walker. But having the pen halved, only managing a damage roll of 6, doesn't even lead to superficial damage. So now the inexperienced green Japanese squad, after passing their order test, is now choosing to charge into the walker. Now they have anti-tank grenades, but unfortunately Rev moved his models first, and as we know, you usually fail your order test when that happens. But luckily, remembering death before dishonor, one of the main army rules for the Japanese, he's able to re-roll the failed order test for the run or charge, and the inexperienced squad manages to make it into close quarters combat with the Mud Skipper.
Banzai! Shine!
They're all over me, damn it!
The Mud Skipper is going to get free arm and leg attacks here, making arm attacks with +4 pen, and a leg attack with +2 pen. Two of the Japanese soldiers are taken out. Making his attacks here and rolling for the damage, unfortunately getting a 1. So we're going to the ongoing combat here, but with the second round of combat not leading to much action. So now the medium machine gun team, seeing the Mud Skipper covered in inexperienced green Japanese soldiers with anti-tank grenades, is going to fire the medium machine gun at the Mud Skipper and the Japanese unit. Being that the medium machine gun doesn't have pen, it actually can't damage the Mud Skipper, but we will have to split the shots up between both units.
Get these guys off me!
With 5 successful hits and damage rolls, 2 of the damage rolls going to the walker, but with 3 going to the Japanese squad, taking 3 of the infantry out. And with the ongoing combat here and the Japanese being whittled down, not necessarily being able to damage now with that unit having so little troops, it's going to be hard to damage the Mud Skipper. Now the medium mortar team is firing at the inexperienced squad that's on the blown up radar dish. Again, they apparently don't know how to use the mortar, and they miss again, ranging in on a 5 next time. And the Chiha tank is going to be using his Shiburo cannon here to fire at the heavy weapons teams up on the hill. It's going to be looking for 4s to hit. But unfortunately having a hard time seeing through all the dense trees. And the artillery team choosing to fire at the inexperienced squad as well. And we're starting to see the ineffectiveness of mortars and artillery teams in conflict with all the fast-moving units. And the American platoon commander going down by the objective. Now, after receiving tons of indirect oncoming fire from artillery and mortars, the inexperienced Japanese squad is running forward here.
Forward!
And they're making their way towards that central command building. Now successfully finding their way onto the board. They must have been lost, being that it's America and they're from Japan. The Japanese sniper team now is just running onto the board here, but they're making it within range of the objective to try and take out the radar dish. And in response, the artillery platoon commander on the US side is running onto the point to try and stop the Japanese from placing the demolition charge. And now the Fireflies are running using their 16-inch flight movement, making their way down towards that central building with the radar dish to try and cut off the Japanese.
Our priority is that radar dish, men. Move it!
And with that, that is the end of turn 4 here. The Japanese have managed to take out 2 of the radar dishes. And luckily, with the U.S. platoon commander stopping the Japanese from taking out that 3rd on the hill. But the Japanese have 2 more turns here. We'll see if they can take out that last remaining radar dish to lead the way for the rest of the Japanese invasion force. With that, that is the end of turn 4. We're moving on to the start of turn 5. Start of turn 5 here, and the Fireflies are up first, and they're just going to run and essentially take cover behind the building here. The number one thing they need to try and do is stop the Japanese from taking out this radar dish, and that's what they're looking to do.
We gotta secure that objective and make sure the Japanese don't take out that last radar dish. If they wipe out another one, this system's going down. Then the whole West Coast is gonna go dark. So keep your head in the game, damn it.
But in response, the Sasori Walker now is going to be activating. It does have some pins, but it is going to now run forward. After passing its order test with a 6 here, it's going to use its movement and essentially move through the Fireflies here and try and push them further off the point, as well as making some arm and leg attacks against the infantry unit.
It's coming right for us! Get the hell out of the way! Ah!
After forcing the majority of the Fireflies away from the point here, it's going to be making its arm and leg attacks. First making a morale check, and the veterans do pass their morale test, so the Fireflies do not flee off the board. And after making leg and arm attacks with +2 and +4 pen, they managed to take out 2 of the Fireflies. So now the Japanese platoon commander here, she is going to fire within point blank range again, trying to see if that ATRD can find its mark on that mud skipper. But unfortunately, the mud skipper must parry it out of the air in some cool like mech fight. And now the medium machine gun team is activating. It's going to be taking its medium machine gun and firing at that inexperienced Japanese green squad. Looking for 4s to hit here. And looking for 3s on the damage roll because they're inexperienced, managing to take out 3 additional Japanese troops. So now the Mud Skipper is looking to advance forward here. It sees the Japanese troops making its way towards that radar dish, and he's looking to advance here. Unfortunately has some pins. Just being a regular walker, rolling a 10, it fails its order. Even with the +1 bonus from the command vehicle, it goes down.
My god. Snipers!
Now the Japanese Shiboro sniper team is going to be firing at the platoon commander that's right in point blank range, looking for a 2 to hit being in point blank range. And not firing in the sniper mode, being that they can choose to fire in the regular rifle mode, they managed to take out the American platoon commander. But now the artillery team picks up the medium howitzer and wheels it through the mud, and it runs onto the point here, trying to stop the Japanese from taking out that radar dish. And now the inexperienced green Japanese rifle squad is looking to activate here. They just took some fire from various weapons.
Forward to the radar dish!
Looking to pass their order test, but unfortunately being green and inexperienced and having a pin, they failed their order test. Go down. And now the medium mortar team is looking to fire here. They're just looking to hit something once this game, so they're going to fire at the inexperienced rifle squad. And again, as expected, they miss. The American platoon commander here going down by the radar dish, making sure no pesky Japanese try and blow it up.
Chiha here. Moving forward, Tetsuko.
Now the Chiha medium tank is running forward here, trying to get as much movement as possible, make its way forward to support the Japanese platoon commander, maybe take out that mud skipper next turn. And with that, that is the end of turn 5 here. The Americans have managed to stop the Japanese again from taking out one of the radar dishes. But the Sasori Walker is looking to push those Fireflies off that central objective. If they can do that, and Rev can get one of the Japanese on that point and manage to stay there at the end of the turn, the Japanese might be able to take the win. That is the end of turn 5, and we are moving on to our last turn here, start of turn 6. The start of turn 6 here, and the Japanese have one last chance here, unless we do get a turn 7, to try and stop the Americans once and for all. Now the Firefly squad has a couple options. They could go try and take out some infantry, but they did just get assaulted by a gigantic Japanese spider mech that is currently looking to chop them to pieces. Deciding to reload their Thompsons with the slug rounds, they're going to be firing at the Sasori Walker, looking for 2s to hit. With the +2 pen potentially glancing on 6s. Managing one successful glancing roll, looking for the arm or turret jam to knock it out, but unfortunately they don't manage. And now the Chiha medium tank is going to be firing, activating its rift ability here, firing at the Mud Skipper.
Prepare the Shiburo cannon. Ready to fire.
Looking for a 4 to hit. And with a serious damage roll here with +2 over, it's going to be making 2 damage rolls against the Mud Skipper. And with the result of a 6 on the second one, leading to the Mud Skipper being taken out in a fiery blaze. The medium machine gun on the Chiha taking out the medium machine gun team on the hill as well. So now the US are getting desperate here. They're going to pivot this medium howitzer here, and being that it's a howitzer, they're going to fire at point blank range and aim that howitzer at the lowest angle it possibly can, shooting at the Japanese sniper team. Looking for a 3 to hit here, being that they moved. But Rev going down in response, having the amount of HE hits and only 1 successful damage roll, the Japanese sniper team is still alive. But after rolling 3 pins for the HE, and being that the unit did lose half of its squad, the Japanese sniper team fails its morale check and flees off the board.
Huh. Take that.
So now the US platoon commander is going down, but first he tells the mortar team,
You guys haven't hit anything one time this entire battle. For the love of God, land a single mortar round. You got it, Commander. Fire!
Of course missing, but potentially ranging in on turn 7 on a 4. And now the Japanese platoon commander is running forward here with the Mud Skipper taken out. She can make her way towards the central objective. And providing that +2 for the order test, the inexperienced Japanese squad now passes their order test, and they're able to run now and make their way onto the point.
Forward-o!
The only issue is that there is a 10-man Firefly squad right there, so they are going to fire their rifles at them first to try and whittle them down.
Shine!
Yeah, looking for 5s to hit. But unfortunately not managing any successful damage rolls, but they do lead to a pin. Now the Sasori Walker is going to be activating here. Rev sees his opportunity. He loves advancing walkers into infantry units.
Why the hell did they cheap out and not give us ATRDs? We gotta get the hell out of here!
He's going to advance forward here. He needs to pass an order test first, in which he does. He's going to advance on top of the Firefly squad, and by doing this, he now has to force the Firefly squad to move away from the Sasori Walker. So essentially, he's able to push the Firefly squad outside of the objective range, and now the Japanese are able to control the objective. They do pass the morale check, fortunately, even with the pin. Looking to hit on 4s with the arms and legs here. It's going to be firing its Shiburo cannon and medium machine guns at the Fireflies. being in point blank range, taking even more of the Fireflies out here.
This damn walker! It's tearing us to shreds!
And now with one pin, the Fireflies do need to take a morale check. Luckily, they do pass it, but unfortunately, with the Japanese infantry squad being within range of the objective and the US Fireflies being outside of range of the objective, but with the spotter on the roof not counting towards objective control, one of the Japanese troops manages to make it up onto the roof, placing a demolition charge, taking out the last radar dish.
The Americans have proven incompetent as we expected. The Emperor shall be pleased with our success today. We have made way for our brothers. We can finally bring pain to the Americans once and for all.
Two of the remaining radar dishes are still functioning for the Americans, but it's a multi-pronged system, and without multiple radar dishes functioning together, they aren't able to accurately use the radar system. The Japanese have taken out the early warning system that the Americans and the Allies used, clearing the way for the rest of the Japanese invasion forces. Well, I gotta say, this was probably one of the most fun battle reports we've filmed and played in a while. I made so much custom terrain for this, with all the woodland scenic trees that I made and flocked, and with the XPS foam hill that I made specifically for this video. Shout out to Rev for all the 3D printed terrain, for all the American terrain that we use here. And it was a very close game the whole time, so it was not only a hell of a lot of fun to film, but it was a very fun game to play as well. That was our pre-invasion America scenario, and shout out to the Tabletop Strategist, the sponsor of today's video. Again, if you need any conflict or bolt action miniatures, you can head over to the tabletopstrategist.com, use code MikeRolls, and get free shipping on orders over $75 for bolt action and Konflikt 47. Thank you again to the Tabletop Strategist. They sponsored this video, allowing us to spend even more time than usual and really go all out for this battle report. Don't forget to use code MikeRolls to let them know I sent you. And thank you as well to everyone who watches the videos here, to our YouTube members, our Twitch subs, and whether you're a new or old subscriber, it means a lot. And thank you so much to everybody who watches our videos. We're so excited for Invasion America. I plan on trying to cover every mission in the book, so look forward to that. And the Japanese are Rev's favorite army to play, so expect to see a lot of Japanese as well as other armies here on the channel in the near future. Well, thank you so much to everybody for watching, and thank you again to the Tabletop Strategist for sponsoring today's video. We're very excited for the future of Konflikt 47 and all the awesome videos we're going to be featuring here on the channel, as well as looking more into my custom Turkish faction for Konflikt 47. Well, thank you again for watching, and until the next video, keep rolling high on those dice.